Well, what is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Hump Day Hotline.
Hump Day
on the Buffalo Rumblings.
Hump Day.
Vidcast Network, presented by Picasso's Pizza. Treat yourself to the most flavorful pizza on game day. I love that you just yell Hump Day over me.
Because I try to do it every time just to see your reaction. Like if you get annoyed by me.
I wasn't already distracted because my read was behind me. So I'm like, the music, the countdown was on 2, and I'm like, where's the read? Where's the read?
I do it on purpose. I'm like Hump, and I'm looking at you. Hump Day.
I love it, dude. Just keep doing it. So, Picasso's, we are Buffalo Pizza, shipping local and nationwide. Order online at Picasso's Pizza. I am one of the hosts of the Hump Day Hotline. My name is Joe Miller. You can find me on Twitter at Joe Miller Wired, and that guy sitting next to me right over there is the other host, Jay Spence the King. You can find him on Twitter at Jay Spence the King. Jay Spence the King. How are you today?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm fired up. I'm ready. Got some energy. I'm not tired today.
That's always positive. Are you normally tired when we do this show?
I feel like a lot of times I'm tired before the show, and then I'm like, all right. And I try to find some energy right before we go live and then kind of do it. But today I have some energy.
Well, good. Well, we've also got some people already that have jumped into the comments section. JR's in the room. Chris, the real Chris Chinky, the Encyclopedia. So he has now 2 nicknames, the real and the Encyclopedia. Jessica Tennis, Steph Poirier. Who else? Jason Humbert's in the room. So yeah, a whole bunch of y'all. Richard Rush, apparently he jumped in to let us know he's not going to be here because he's at the fair with his family. It's like, bro, you don't have to let us know where you're going to be. Sarah Lawson's in the room. David, is it Lavin or Levine? I don't know, or Levine, Step Brothers. That is not Step Brothers. You might have to get that closer to the camera for the folks at home. Just saying.
Yeah, he knows what's up. He knows what's up.
That's not the Step Brothers. That's the real brothers. That's the Hump Day brothers.
We got men in the kitchen. That's damn right. For sure we are. We in the damn kitchen. What's up? Go Bill. Shout out to EB. My man, wait a minute. First of all, I don't know if anybody who's on Twitter, and if you follow me, you may have seen me talk a little bit today about friends backstabbing you. Listen, Daryl, he's one of the guys that I actually call like a friend and brother. How do you not like Halloween or cake? How do you like? I just feel betrayed. Like I never knew who he was as a person at all. Like how do you not like?
I don't know, but this took a weird turn with Sarah Larson's comment, but I don't know. At least unless yeah.
Oh yeah, wow, chicka wow wow.
Like, all right, well, this is a Hump Day Hotline, and we're doing live hookups.
Yeah.
But
well, you know what? Jessica has a comment for us, so she's starting off asking us about the top 100 list. So we can start off there.
We'll go there, but let me finish the open, which is we be sure to like and subscribe on whatever platform you are consuming this video, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. And if you're watching it in post in podcast form, make sure you like and subscribe there as well. And then we are Super Chat Live. So if you want to really get our attention or be nice to us and bless us, and you want to put a super chat in, please feel free to do so through super chat. But yeah, hump that like, jump on the like button for us, and we would love you and appreciate you even more. So yes, so the first one apparently we are going to is the top 100, of which Von Miller, the only current Bill, made the list at number 93. Meanwhile, Mac Jones was ranked at number 85. And I know that the players do this ranking, but Good Morning Football did a draft today for quarterbacks, a 4-round, between the 4 of them, 4-round draft of quarterbacks, which means 16 quarterbacks went off the board. Guess which one was missing?
The Super Bowl winning quarterback.
the number 85 on the NFL's top 100 players list.
But also the Super Bowl winning. But yeah, your point. Mac Jones was missing.
Yeah, Mac Jones was missing. So like even the Good Morning Football guys were like, yeah, we're not drafting that guy.
Over Von Miller.
Over Von Miller, right. That's even more amazing. So first thoughts. Jessica Tennis kicked it off. What are your initial thoughts on just that whole thing about not a single Bill from 2021 made it in the bottom 50?
I mean, I think that just means that, they're all in the top 50. That's all that means. It's okay.
Possibly.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like I said, when you look at it, I just think it's highly impossible. And I know the normal term there or normal word there is improbable. I'm saying impossible. It's highly impossible that Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, who were 2 of the best at their position last year, literally because they were all pros, are not given that recognition this year. It's impossible that Josh Allen isn't given that recognition this year. To me, it's impossible that Diggs doesn't get that recognition this year. I'm going to go with Deion I think he gets that recognition this year as well. I'm still on the train of Tremaine. I think Tremaine is going to be on the list too. So I think, honestly, I think we're going to have all of those guys that we mentioned last week in the top 50. The Buffalo Bills are a top 4 team now.
All the conversation is what NFC team is playing the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl is all the conversation. So you could probably say they're higher than a top 4 team. They're probably a top 3 team, right? I mean,
yeah.
When you consider it, and then you're gonna mix people around as far as that goes, unless people really weight the AFC, which they probably should. Then I guess you could say the top 4 teams are all AFC teams, and then from there on out it's an NFC team. But I just feel like this is setting up as a giant slight. Didn't they leak some of the ballots? They leaked a bunch of the ballots, pictures of the ballots, and there wasn't a Buffalo Bill on any of them, and they're all like top 10 ballots.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
did you see it leak?
There was a leak on Twitter. They were like, and they could have been staged, they could have been fake, but they were just posed like as they were kind of out on the table, and then they were taking like really kind of cool, creative pictures of the ballots themselves. And when you kind of zoomed in on them, you could read, and not one of them had a Buffalo Bill.
I don't know if that's a real leak then, because I mean, it's impossible for anybody to imagine Josh Allen not being in the top 10.
Josh is going to make it. I'm not saying he's not, but I just feel like the whole thing is going to be a slight. I think there's a slight coming.
Well, that's a good thing then. I take it. I mean, honestly, if we get out of this with only Von Miller and Josh Allen being on the list, I think that's a good thing for us as fans. We'll be pissed off on Twitter for a couple of days, and we'll talk crap and complain, and we'll at the NFL handle and whoever else, and then the Buffalo Bills will proceed to go to LA and kick ass, and then come back to Buffalo and kick ass, and then no, that's fine.
Go to Miami.
Keep them off the list.
Go to Miami.
Kick ass.
If we can add, Chris Jenke says that one of the ballots had Jamar Chase written twice. I don't think that negates it as still being real, because there's some really not smart guys in the NFL, like Kiko Alonso. There's a lot of people in the NFL that aren't, and shout out to Kiko, who just retired. But there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys in the NFL that aren't overly super high on the Wonderlic test, right?
Yeah. Definitely wasn't the brightest crayon in the box. You know what I mean? He definitely wasn't there.
I remember one time, I don't remember what the comment was or what the joke was, but he was getting post-game interview when they still would record the post-game interviews. You could probably go back and find it. Not that you would, and Kiko was being interviewed by somebody, and somebody asked him a question and then made a joke, and he was like, "What?" And the guy was like, no, I was like, it was a joke. And he didn't. And then he was like, oh, ha, ha, ha. It was a joke. And yeah, he totally didn't get it just went straight over his head. So
he's just not. He's not all there.
No. So, but as far as this conversation goes, I mean, Jordan for All Pro or we riot, right? So, I mean, do we make another T-shirt? Is that what we're talking about? Like, I mean,
we can if we
guys
if we like to do those things. We like to do it, but I don't take this one as seriously. I could care less about the top 100 players. Let's get to September. Let's make this thing happen.
It's funny because it is a point of conversation, and it's a validation of sorts. And part of that validation for me is Josh Allen should not be top 5. Josh Allen should be top 2.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Who's better than Josh Allen? You're going to say Aaron Donald because we're supposed to.
Not because I'm supposed to. He's that dude. Like, I don't think there's anybody in the NFL better than Aaron Donald at their position.
You don't feel like it's gotten a little, well, we got to mention Aaron Donald. I mean, right?
No. Do you watch him?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
the dude I just don't think it's close.
I mean, I just feel like it's not. I mean, is the day going to come when he's not a top 2 player, and then everybody's going to like lose their minds because Aaron Donald's not a top 2 player? It's like when Tom Brady fell out of the top. Didn't Tom Brady fall out of the top 5 one of the last 2 years? I don't know. I mean, for me, who's better than Josh? Who are you putting up there ahead of him? I guess is the question.
Aaron Rodgers.
Still,
he won an MVP 2 years in a row and deserved it.
Yeah, there's a talent level. I mean, sometimes I want some players have characteristics that I don't necessarily come out in an MVP type format. When you look at a guy like Kyler Murray is wildly talented, right? Wildly gifted as a runner, as a passer. He's a heady player. Would I put him in the top 10? Probably not. But I'm trying to make a point. I don't know if the point I'm making is landing, but
you wouldn't put Aaron Rodgers as a top quarterback?
Last year, I mean, I guess you'd have to based on last year, right?
Right. because I mean, this is judging from last season heading into this year. So I would say Aaron Rodgers is better. Honestly, I would say Tom Brady's better than Josh Allen if we're looking at last year.
Right. Sarah Larson actually makes a really good point. She says, I think it's impossible to rank players of different positions. We talked about it. We've talked about it when it comes to Steve Tasker going into the Hall of Fame as a quote unquote special teamer versus Devin Hester, who's also a special teamer, and they did two completely different jobs. Right. So it would almost be like only offensive linemen go in with the designation offensive lineman, while a guard is significantly different than a tackle, and a tackle is completely different than a center. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes sense, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited and interested in the top 50. I just feel like, I don't know, call it just being a Buffalo Bills fan. I just feel like a slight's coming.
I'm actually shocked that you, just and not just in a bad way, but I'm just shocked that you really would think that, or you feel that Josh is the best in the league. As far at that position,
top two. I mean, which as much as I was pushing against you, does Aaron Donald have to be top two? It doesn't mean Aaron Donald couldn't be one and Josh be two, right?
Right, but then I still put Rodgers, and I think, to be honest, I think they're going to put Mahomes in front of Josh. So I wouldn't be shocked if Josh is like 5, because I could see Tom Brady, I could see Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers making those top 4 positions. When you throw in Aaron Donald, so I could see Josh making 5. Last year he was what, 6?
I don't remember off the top of my head. So I'm sure somebody in the chat does. So I don't. I'm sure it'll pop up any second. So
we'll see.
Chris Jenke says, Joe, you got to remember this is voted on by the athletes who put Jamar Chase twice on one ballot. I think that's a double vote. It was probably Joe Burrow's ballot. Joe Burrow's probably the one that did that. So apparently
Sarah said Josh was 10.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. So we'll see. I mean, all that for, we'll see what happens. But as we're talking about just conversations and players in general, why don't we go to the wide receiver battle? So the wide receiver battle is clearly heating up. One of the most notable names is not a surprise to this show, or not an unmentioned on this show, Isaiah Hodgins, who I've talked about a bunch, and you and I've had many conversations about, has had a phenomenal camp, had a great red versus blue game, showed up really well in that first preseason game against the Colts. He was actually on the Cover One network on the film room for Cover One last night, and was really, really good. It was great to hear them break down kind of what he was doing and what he was seeing and what his options were and what was going through his head, how he was thinking that Barkley was thinking about him. It was very compelling. If people want to watch that, I would tell you to go back. But Isaiah Hodgins, and obviously he's making a case for an NFL roster spot. I put NFL roster spot in there because, in my opinion, if he has another game, maybe even 2 like this one, if the Bills cut him, he's going to end up on an NFL roster somewhere if he plays the way that he's continuing to play. However, to make this roster, it looks like he's going to have to oust Touchdown Jesus. And then obviously we can tag on some OBJ stuff. But let's talk about the wide receiver battle first.
Yeah, I think to your point, I think your guy Isaiah Hodgins is actually making a case for himself, man. He's coming out, he's balling, he's making some big plays. He looked very good in that preseason game, and I know we heard good stuff from practice, but he looked very good in the game. And when you look like the moment's not too big, I know it's preseason, I know it's I know it wasn't Gabe Davis in the playoffs versus the Chiefs on the road. I get it, but still, those guys are playing. They're playing hard because they're trying to make this team. They want to impress this coaching staff. So yeah, he showed up and he made it look like it was easy for him. The same thing with our rookie Khalil Shakur made it look easy for him. He made it absolutely look easy.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think at the Kumero's in danger, man. As much as he's such a tough guy, like he's a tough player when it comes to special teams. He does a great job on special teams. Listen. He's gonna have to, these next couple games, you can't fumble, you can't turn the ball over, you can't miss blocks, you can't miss tackles, you can't do so all of the stuff that we take for granted that he does well before, like, oh, he's touchdown Jesus, he catches touchdowns and he's good on special teams, and we can't take it for granted. You have to show up again this year and make the same plays, and right now Hodgins looks like he's doing it. But I would say I wouldn't also be shocked if Hodgins and Kumero made it and they actually let go of like Crowder. I wouldn't be shocked with that.
Literally, you're driving down the road I wanted to drive, which is, having a conversation or talking about, no, I don't want to subscribe to your page. I've got the depth chart pulled up.
Oh.
And when you think about the individual battles, Gabriel Davis is not one of them. Stephon Diggs is clearly not one of them. Khalil Shakir makes his football team. Regardless, they've got him third on the depth chart. The Bills do. I'm looking at the Bills depth chart, which should be reflective of last week, which we should be getting a new one, right? Shouldn't we have already gotten a new one for this week? Did we not get it? We didn't get a new one this week, did we?
I haven't seen one yet. No.
So maybe they're just writing it out. But Khalil Shakir on last week's depth chart was third. Behind Jamison Crowder. Isaiah McKenzie was number 1 in the slot, but you've got kind of that battle, Crowder versus Shakir, right? And the question is can Tavon Austin make this football team as a returner? He's not going to make it as a wide receiver, so I don't even know where we want to have a conversation, or if we do, about him. Marquez Stevenson, they're saying he's weeks away, so he's probably going to start the season as a non-rostered player, whether it's a PUP or IR or something to that extent. But yeah, the battles are, when you look at this roster, Crowder and Shakir, Crowder and Shakir versus Kumaro and Hodgins, and do they keep 7? And I just don't know. I just think there's other position spots. When you look at a Balin Spector and just different guys like that, the cornerback room, I just feel like there's other areas, other rooms that are maybe pushing for them to kind of get a little skinny at wide receiver. I don't know. I mean, when you look at that battle, there's no benefit to cutting Crowder, other than you're cutting a veteran and you're getting to keep a younger guy at a relatively cheaper number, but you're going to eat his salary. It's tough, dude. I don't know if you want to talk more about that. I don't know.
I mean, this is like last year we thought it was going to be tough, but like this is the year where we're seeing where it's like, it's really tough. Because can you imagine if we didn't release Cole? Or if we didn't, if we still had Cole Beasley in the mix, or if, what's our guy? Emmanuel Sanders didn't retire.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if we still had those 2 guys in the mix, and then Crowder, you still had this room.
Well, Crowder wouldn't be on this team if we still had Sanders and
maybe. I mean, it's the offseason. So what I'm saying is still, even if Crowder wasn't here, you add those 2 guys to the mix, and it's still like, holy smokes, man! Like, we're gonna have to let go of some guys that this isn't Duke Williams. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't, this isn't, Wade Phillips, Christian Wade that we're talking about here. Like, this is actually, I don't know. It's going to be hard. Like, you're actually going to have heartbreak this year when it comes to like a talented person that's going to go to another team and actually help that roster out.
Yeah, like Wyatt Teller. Anyway, sorry, cheap shot. It's interesting because the biggest argument against a guy like Isaiah Hodgins, and you have been the champion for this argument, and you're 1,000% true, is traditionally or historic. Well, his first year didn't matter, but last year when he was playing in the preseason, he did not play special teams, and we were told that he was not a special teams player. And this year, I don't think it's indicative that somehow Jake Kumaro is on a bubble or is like next in line to be cut. But in that first preseason game, Jake Kumaro did not play any special team snaps, and Isaiah played a bunch. To me, that's more of a, you've been playing special team snaps all over the place. I've witnessed them, Isaiah Hodgins. Go out in a game and let's see what you can do. It feels like, and I think I said this a couple shows ago, they're giving him every opportunity to take that spot. Here's the scary part. If you're ready, are you ready for a scary part?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
So if they keep the roster intact the way that it is right now, and they keep 7, and Kumaro and Hodgins are both, they stay on this football team, and Stephon Diggs, knock on wood somewhere or whatever you want to do, if something happens and he misses a game, your number 2 X receiver right now is Jake Kumaro. That is a long way down from Stephon Diggs. Hey, that is a long way down from Stephon Diggs. Like, you're not even in the same area code.
Well, this is why. So at the bottom of this thing, scrolling up at the bottom, at the end of there, it says OBJ thoughts. Now, I know Odell Beckham Jr. is a polarizing figure. He's somebody that, either you love him or you hate him. Like, it's literally difficult to be in the middle when it comes to Odell Beckham Jr. But for the side of the argument that's like, nope, we don't need him. Okay, I hear you, because you're right. We just had this whole conversation about how deep the room is, but then you made a great point. If something ever was to happen to Diggs, okay, we got Gabriel Davis. Are we sure after Davis that we're comfortable with the rest of the wide receiver room if it's an extended period of time that Diggs has to be out? I don't think that I am. I just don't think that I am. And then when you go there, when you're talking about somebody like Josh Allen and that type of talent, and you're talking about what we've witnessed over the last 5 years from our Super Bowl champions, they always take these risks with these players that either are very good and had like a bad situation, so they want to go somewhere to shut up the other team, or like they're cut from somewhere, or they had like a bad rep, so they got something to prove, or like they take a chance on these guys with talent, but just don't seem to have the home.
Right.
Odell Beckham Jr. right now, we saw him perform last season after he left Cleveland. He clearly wasn't the problem in Cleveland. In LA, he looked pretty darn good. In LA,
what do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know who was the issue there, but
Still got your Baker jersey?
I think I threw it out. But
did you throw it out or did you fill it up?
I filled it up and then threw it out. But I just think, it's like it's one of those things when you look at it, like he was honestly in the first half of the Super Bowl, he was the best receiver in the first half of the Super Bowl.
Agreed.
On the same team with Cooper Kupp.
Agreed.
So I just tell, for those who say, no, we don't like him, I just say, take a step back. Think about the reasons why you're saying you don't like him. And if it has anything to do with anything outside of football and his presence in the locker room, then I would say, let's not talk about it. And as far as presence in the locker room, go and ask anybody from the New York Giants, go and ask anybody from Cleveland other than Odell Beckham, go and ask anybody in LA if they would like Odell Beckham Jr. back on that team.
No, for sure. For me, I've been very outspoken about not being in the OBJ train, and it has nothing to do with personal reasons at all. I just don't know that the team will. It's weird. It's weird to be stuck between the will he make the team better, and you want to answer yes because he's a good player. But does the team need him is another question that has to be asked. Now, if something were to happen to Stephon Diggs, or something were to happen to Gabriel Davis, or even Isaiah McKenzie, even with Jamison Crowder behind him, I'm pounding the table. My God, go get OBJ. But I don't know that you can live in that space. And then, somebody just put in there, I think it was Sarah, just talked about cap space and stuff like that. I mean, or no, it was Jessica Tennis, about cap room. We don't really have the cap room. And what does that do? Is he a 1-year player? Is he a rental player?
He's a rental.
He's probably not going to be here until November or December. I heard one of the programs talking about, I don't know which one it was, that it doesn't even make sense for him to sign with the team right now, because if he signed with the team and then that quarterback got injured, now he's going to a team where he has, I mean, it's got to be in OBJ's mind, just like Von Miller's mind, that whatever I do next, I want to win a Super Bowl. I want to go I don't want to go to the Falcons, right? Calvin Ridley's out for this or gone for the season. I'll go to the Falcons because there'll be a job there. He doesn't want to go there. He wants to go someplace where he can win. He's always wanted to win, but which most good players do. I just don't know that this team needs him. And I think it's fair to have that conversation versus, is the team better with him or without him? I don't know that the team needs him. Is that fair?
I mean, it's always fair. I would disagree with the question. Like if somebody was to ask me personally, not on the show, I would say, no, absolutely. You always need to surround your quarterback with the most talent as possible. So like when we say it's only one ball, there's only so much. I mean, that's true in certain, depending on what you're talking about. When you're talking about an offense that gets the ball around, like what we've seen out of the Buffalo Bills, and you're talking about somebody with the type of they command the presence that Odell Beckham Jr. commands. Yes, right. I do. And so we're talking about cap space. We're not talking about signing Odell Beckham Jr. now. If he comes, we're talking about probably December. We're talking about a playoff run.
Yeah, it's a play. He's a rental player for the play.
He's not going to be healthy.
It's a hockey move where they
100%. He's not healthy enough to be signed right now. He's still out with the ACL tear. So we're not talking about signing him now for the season. What we're talking about is having depth going into the playoffs and hopefully for the Super Bowl. And if you're going to ask me, hey, you want Odell Beckham Jr. or let's see, who else are they taking chances on around the league? Tampa Bay just took one on a guy named Julio Jones, who doesn't look like Julio. Them hamstrings look bad. I would rather take a chance on somebody who we just saw in the Super Bowl catch a touchdown in the first half and be a tremendous player and teammate for that team. So, like I said, I hear both sides. I think when he's healthy and he's ready to come back, if we're going into the playoffs and it's one of those situations where it's like, you know what, we need that firepower, man. Let's do it. I would not hesitate to bring Odell Beckham Jr. to Western New York. You
obviously saw that the play, or they should say the rep by Julio Jones, and that body's broken, dude. That body is broken.
Looks bad. Looks bad.
Like he couldn't even get like he darts to the inside, and he couldn't get off. He couldn't get off the corner, and all he had to do was like dart and dip out.
I'm sure he's in better shape than that, and maybe it was just like a bad rep that somebody recorded, like where he didn't have any effort. Like I'm sure he's better than that, but it was a bad look. That's a bad look.
I feel like I could have gotten some separation better on that corner than he did in that rep. I'm 49 years old and I got a meniscus tear.
It didn't even look like he walked, man. It didn't even look like he was walking.
Yeah, it's funny how fast, I mean, I know that it's been over a year or two, but how fast the body deteriorates. And it reminds me when I watched him do that, it reminded me of something Fina said one time. He said that when he had gone to the Arizona Cardinals in his final season, he went there to kind of be the grown up in the offensive line room, in the tackle room, to kind of help the young guys and stuff like that. And it became clear to him that his head wasn't in the game anymore. And like, it just wasn't there. And he said, and when that happens, the game gets very dangerous as a human being. When your head's not when your head and your heart isn't there, it's just dangerous. And it goes back to, was it Vontae Davis that retired at halftime? I was actually at that. Were you at that game? I was at that game.
No, I wasn't at that game.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it's a very similar thing. Like I got out there and I got scared, and I'm not ready to. So yeah, but the Julio Jones thing.
I'm just laughing because I'm thinking about the Trey White and Shady live video when they were talking about it, and Vontae was saying like, "No, man, that's a young man's game." And with the way Trey White was like talking like him, it was. Did you see that?
No.
I'm gonna send it to you after the show, man. Like they were on a live the summer that COVID first hit, and they were talking about like when they went to the locker room and was talking about like when he decided he was going to retire, when he quit. And he's like, "No, man, I quit. I'm done." And they was like, "Well, you done after this game?" He's like, "Nah, young blood, I'm done now." I'm gonna show you the video. When you see the video, man, you go die. I promise you.
It's over. Like OVR, over, right? So per ESPN, rather, the Chargers safety Derwin Jones' new contract that he just signed reportedly averages $19.1 million per year. He is currently the highest paid safety in the league. He's 26 years old. I don't know what this does for Poyer's camp. Obviously 5 years is a lot in the NFL. When the average player in the NFL is less than 4, which I think is true. 5 NFL years is a lot when you look at a guy like Julio Jones and how fast. This goes back to the Von Miller thing too. Like when they hit that wall, when they fall off that cliff, how fast do they fall off the cliff? Julio's falling off relatively quickly, and you don't know when it's coming. Jordan is clearly in elite shape. He's playing probably the best football he's ever played in his career at 31, soon to be 32, I think. No, he just turned 31, didn't he? What do you think this does for? I could probably check Spot Track. I wonder if Spot Track's updated what the metric for Jordan Poyer is. Hang on a second.
Well, while you're looking that up, I don't personally, and this is not a no, I don't know for sure. This is something that I have not talked to Jordan about personally, but I think that he has a number in mind that he's looking to with the team. I don't think that other deals have anything to do with what Jordan wants. Mm-hmm. I think Jordan wants to come to an agreement with the team that can be not necessarily team friendly to the point where he's like not making anything, but something that's friendly enough to where the team can fit something in and still be able to make some moves, but he still feels like he's making something that he's worth because he was an All-Pro last year. So I don't know if he's looking for 19 per year. I don't think that that's the number that he came into these discussions with. It may be. And if he is, I could be 100% wrong, but I don't know. Something tells me that Jordan wants to be in Buffalo. He wants to retire a bill, and he understands what the team looks like. He knows what it takes for a team to win a championship. He wants to be a part of it. So I think he wants to get in and fit into a good puzzle. So I don't know. What did you see if they updated that?
So Spot Track, hang on a second. Derwin James. Let me do one. So so they don't have Derwin James as one of his comps, right? So which probably makes sense just due to an age thing. So Spot Track, not Sport Track. I just want to see if they've updated his contract real quick. So 2 seconds while we need some music, some do. So base salary, yearly cash. Yeah. So I think they've got his updated in here as far as, because it says 18. He's like,
all right, now.
What do you think? So they still You're good. You're good. They still have the comp for Jordan as Jimmy Ward, Tyrann Mathieu, Devin McCourty, and Adrian Phillips. And I believe that that's based on their age when signed, 28, 29, 34, and 29, of which the top three, 9.5, 9.4, 9, and then Adrian Phillips probably shouldn't be on this list at 4.25. So they've got him valued still at $10.7 million a year based on kind of those comps that they have. I don't think that they would comp him against Derwin James based on age.
Yeah, and he's 20. He just turned 26, I think August 3rd. So
Yeah,
he just turned 26. No, it's not the same situation where you're looking at Jordan Poyer versus Derwin James.
Are you surprised about that number when you consider how interchangeable safeties tend to be in the NFL? I mean, there's not many Troy Palomalus, right? There's not many Ed Reeds.
No, I mean,
Derwin James is not. Who was the other dude from the Ravens that came here for a while?
As a coach.
I said, was it Ed Reed? Ed Reed as a coach? Yeah. Yeah. There's just not many of those guys that go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I don't think that so it's different, right? So like back in the day, I feel like the NFL had like these elite Hall of Fame caliber players that you watched and you just knew like, oh, that guy's a freaking Hall of Famer.
Right.
I feel like now across the board, I feel like it seems like most teams now have solid players.
Yep.
But you don't see like those transcendent, like those guys that like are clear, like full neck and shoulder and head above everybody. Like you don't have like 5 of those guys in the league right now. So
right.
So when it comes to that, yeah, I think when you're looking at it, it's tough to look at a lot of these positions and look at these numbers. And then you look back to years ago and it's like, how are these guys making this money compared to a guy like Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu? Like those guys were
19 million a year average, and his name isn't Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Minkah Fitzpatrick is a name that everybody hears. Like Derwin James, unless you're a psychotic football watcher and you have the Sunday ticket and watch all the games and you consume everything, or you're a content creator at some level, you probably haven't even heard of Derwin James. 19 million a year. Like what?
He's a baller though. If you do know him and you watch him, then you know he's a baller. But
I agree.
But no, I agree with you. He's not the big name. Like he's not you're right. He's not the Fitzpatrick. He's not like we could go through a list of guys that like he's not the Wagners of the world, or not Bobby Wagner. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's not these big name guys, but 19 M's, man. Like 19 M's.
It's a lot of M's.
Jeez.
That's a
lot. Let me get one.
One M doesn't go as far as it used to. That's why they need 19 of them. Where do you want to go next? You want to go to the Patriots conversation?
Before we go to the Patriots, because I do want to talk about something a little. Look, man, I keep forgetting to plug this karaoke party, right? We're having a karaoke party the weekend of the home opener. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to be in Buffalo for the home opener, I just got to throw this out there right now because I always forget, but I need your help for this. So we're going to be having karaoke night, the Bills Mafia party. It's going to be at the Heights on Main Street, 3148 Main Street, Buffalo, New York, 14214. So it's the 16th, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. This is the thing. Joe Miller is going to be singing. He going to be getting up there. I've heard him sing plenty of times. I know what it's like, but we got a contest going. We're going to have a contest to pick Joe's song. This is one of the things that we're going to be raffling off, either a song or a duet, whatever you want to do. There are some people who want to hear Joe perform Baby Got Back.
One of those people's in the room. not with you and me, but in the comment section right now.
Well, I'm just saying, which I would like for him to sing that song, but the winner, somebody would have to win to pick it, or else we ain't going to hear it. So, help us out. We need y'all to get tickets. I'm going to go to my Twitter. I'm going to make sure I put the link up for y'all to get tickets. But hey, what do y'all want to hear Joe sing? We need to figure out, Joe, I mean, is there any genres off the list for you? Like, are you open to anything?
I mean, it's going to help me to be relatively familiar. There's probably not a genre off the list. As you can hear, my voice isn't exactly that of, Harry Styles from One Direction. I've got a little bit of a deeper timbre. Doesn't mean I don't have a good range. I do have a good range. If you were a smart person, you would probably pick a country song or a rock song by like Stone Temple Pilots, something like that. Somebody's got a little bit of a deeper voice. Johnny Cash would be great. I can rock some Johnny Cash because I fell into a burning ring of fire. Like I can do that low stuff, like no problem. But yeah, my fear is that it's going to be like a Prince song, you know what I mean, or something like that. Which I love Prince. Prince is one of my favorite artists of all time. I can't hang with the man. So I don't. Yeah. So it could turn into something that's really fun, and we have a blast with it. It's not a butter commercial jingle. Or it could turn into something that's just funny, if that makes any sense. But no, I've rapped before, so I've been on stage and actually rapped Hammer Time. I've rapped Ice Ice Baby before. Like, so I've done some
bars.
Yeah,
bars?
No,
okay.
I don't have bars, but I can mimic. I can mimic very well. Like I can pretend to be, so I can get into character pretty well.
Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the contest, and then I want to have it be a little early so we can give you time to practice if you need it.
Right. So this is much I will tell you. I will sell it. So whatever I'm doing, I'm not going to go up there and I got to do this because it's blah, blah, blah. Just kind of fake it. Like if it's a song that I can execute and execute well, I will execute it well. It will be.
No, I know you sing.
Yeah.
I know. Like
people will enjoy it. Yeah. People will
no, it's going to be a time.
I can do some Elvis. So Daniel Gowrie says do some Elvis. Yeah, I can do some Elvis stuff. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, that second half of the sentence could mean a couple things. The voice covers the king. We could pull out some Jay Spence music out the vaults, have you cover one of my songs. I'm just saying. We can leave that one alone.
What are you singing, by the way?
I think I'm gonna do some Eminem.
Oh,
I think I'm gonna do the real Slim Shady. That's what I'm going with, real Slim Shady.
That's high. He's got a high range too.
He does.
Can you
see? People don't think I got the breathing, and they don't think I got the I got it all. You know what I'm saying? I'm a star, Joe. I don't know what people thought. I'm a star. Okay, I just need y'all to realize it. I am a star.
You are a star, but no. So I guess so. What are the rules going to be? How do people put in a ballot? How do they pay for it? Who wins? Is it by votes? So everybody has to vote. Are we going to pick 5 songs and everybody votes on the song? Is it a free for all? And then I have to approve? How are we going to do this?
No, what I was looking to do is, so tomorrow I'm going to throw up a raffle on Twitter. So we'll probably try to see if we can have some participation from Buffalo Rumblings Twitter as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll throw up a raffle on Twitter. We'll probably sell tickets for maybe $2 a piece or what? I don't know what you think. We'll talk. Whatever you think is a good number, we'll raffle the tickets off for that amount. People can Venmo or Cash App or whatever raffle. The week before, we'll pull. The winner gets to pick the song a week in advance, so that way you have a week to prepare for your performance.
So David Reed says, "Walking in Memphis." Can I just tell you that I hate that song with a passion? Cannot stand it. Like I don't like the content of the lyrics. I could sing it, but I hate that song. That's probably the one that's going to get picked. But I cannot stand Easy.
We're going to get you some Lil Wayne. That's happening right there. Yep. I'm going to buy some raffle tickets. If I win, I'm picking Lil Wayne. That's it.
It's going to help me if I know the song. So
yeah, we'll give you a week to be able to rehearse the song. So even if you aren't familiar with it, you have a week to get familiar. I think that's what makes it fun.
I'm gonna have to buy the karaoke track so I can perform it. So the good news is I've got a decent place to practice between my home studio and the church, so I can jump on stage, turn the system on, and work on some moves, sweet moves. So yeah, but so another good one would be I just lost the name of the band. It just Tears for Fears. Like I can rock some Tears for Fears now. But he's got a super deep voice too, so it is what it is.
We got to get a duet going too, though. We got to get a song. We'll figure it out. We'll get something going. We
could do some. We could get some Boys to Men stuff, and I can do the low parts. Girl,
I'm down with the Boys and Men. You like New Edition?
Yes.
Do some New Edition.
Right into my childhood wheelhouse.
Hey,
New Edition. Cool it now.
Sarah said Usher for you might work. We can get some Usher.
It's a lot. I have sung some Michael Jackson songs live, but the songs had to be shifted several keys for me to sing them. So yeah, Beat It was fun when I did. Awesome. There might be video out there of me singing Beat It somewhere on the internet, just so you know. But
let's YouTube it, guys.
You may or may not be able to find it.
But look for that tomorrow on Twitter. But now let's move on. So around the league, things are changing. They're trying new things, and we used to have joint practices, I feel like, in scrimmages, but now I feel like they're trying to get back to it. The Patriots and the Panthers got together, and it seems like this practice was more of a spar. It seemed like nothing. They didn't do anything but fight all day. do you think these practices are good for the NFL, or do you think it's something that we should probably do without, or how do you feel at all about it?
I understand the entire premise, and I understand the entire idea of giving the guys somebody to hit that's in a different uniform. I would submit to you, or ask the question, I should say, how does it make you feel when you hear the Bills are traveling this week down to Pittsburgh to do a combined practice with the Steelers? Are you like, oh, this should be good? Or are you like, oh no?
I'm more on the oh no side.
Yeah, please don't get hurt. Please,
Yeah.
no, please nobody get hurt. Right?
Yeah, I'm on the oh no side because I feel like the other teams, even though it's an unwritten rule, I feel like the other teams don't care as much, obviously, about the other team. So when it comes to the tackling, and when it comes to doing things and taking care of each other, it's just not there.
Why are people putting songs in still? Are people
Because
behind?
It's happening. We got Sexual Healing. We got Whiskey Girl. We're going to get you some background dancers and everything. I'm with Sarah on this.
We can do some Chris Isaacs. Yeah, they want a fall in love song. But anyway, I never dreamed I would meet somebody like you. But, yeah.
Love on Top by Beyonce. You can do Love on Top.
Pardon?
Yeah, exactly. She modulates a couple times too. You got to hit them keys. We're gonna get you, Joe. We're gonna get you.
The question was, do I feel that they make sense? Are they good joint practices? I don't know that they are. I'm probably fine if teams want to do them. They clearly need to. I think what's interesting about this one is this one deteriorated in some fashion that we've never seen one deteriorate before. As much as I feel like, oh no, and you feel like, oh no, I don't know that we've ever heard of somebody being injured at one of these types of practices. But Mac Jones throwing a touchdown pass and running up to the defender, grabbing his junk and saying what he said, and basically causing a fight is surprising from the Patriots organization, is it not?
It's surprising for me when I hear the Patriots are involved. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, doesn't it seem like do your job and know your role, and like all those cliche act like you've been there before are like Patriot kind of like things?
For starters, like I said, it's just shocking to me because you don't hear everything you hear about the Patriots about I'm gonna bring that up next. I didn't hear that, but everything you hear about the Patriots is how they're like a militant Rand type of, like everything is, and these guys are like just everything. And then we hear about them being involved in this. And then Chris Jenke throws out the real Chris Jenke tells us that this one was serious because some fans got hurt. I didn't hear about fans getting hurt.
I didn't hear about that either.
But this is why I don't know if I think that it's a good environment when you have anything like that going on. Like when that happens, even in practice, whoever's starting it, and I'm not talking about just like when Josh Allen was starting last week or 2 weeks ago in practice, joking around, trying to get guys riled up. I'm talking about this was a fight.
Right.
Guy, okay, take your helmet off, go to the locker room, put your pads up.
So we need clarification. So Peyton is asking if read that it wasn't true. I'm guessing that's about fans getting hurt. And then Chris says, yes, Peyton was joking. It was a joke post. So I'm guessing that nobody actually got hurt in the crowd. It broke out into the crowd and some fans. Oh, so maybe it did happen.
Okay.
Weird. Yeah, I didn't hear that part. I just clearly these guys are wearing helmets and they're wearing pads and stuff like that, and it's getting into a fight. It's more, you're more apt to break a hand than actually break a nose, right? From punching the helmet. Now if the helmet comes off, it gets a little bit more dangerous. Scrums and piles and things like that happen in a normal NFL game. I just don't know. I don't know that the what's the saying? The juice is worth the squeeze, right? Isn't that the question we're asking? Is the juice worth the squeeze?
I guess that's the question. Yeah.
I mean, it seems to me that it makes it just stay home. Just stay home, go to your stadium, go to wherever your training camp is, do your thing. And if your guys beat up on each other a little bit and they get testy, good, because it's going to make them want to hit somebody that's not in their own team's jersey, probably all the more. Versus
I could even see if it's two organizations that have a good relationship. So, which you would think that teams like this would. You would think the Patriots and the Panthers, okay, let's get together and practice. So you would think you have a good relationship, but apparently not. Now, if the Bills and say the Giants did it, because like last year there was Dayball, so there's a good communication thing there. Yeah. Or previously, if the Bills and Panthers would have done it, because McDermott in their history, which they have, and it seemed okay besides Cam Newton talking stuff to Ed Oliver. But other than that, there was no physical confrontations like this. So I feel like, when you have a good relationship, sure. But no, this stuff, there's no place in the game for this, man.
So Chris Jakey says that comment about what he said was supposedly a joke post. The fans getting hurt was 100% true. So if the fans got hurt, I mean, you might see the NFL step in, would be my guess. Somebody posted something up here that, where did it go? Somebody was like, you should sing some Frank Sinatra in honor of Josh Allen. Let me tell you, y'all, I can crush some Frank Sinatra. Crush it. So
I mean, he will sing whatever you pick if you win. So
not whatever they're supposed to be. You told me.
No, that's the
I'm saying.
No, I said that we're gonna pick it a week in advance. So if you're not familiar with the song, you have time to do it. You wanna get it down to 5 songs and pick.
I want to be able to execute it, which means that if it's out of my range, it could be a problem. I do not sing like a canary. I have a good voice. I have a good range, but I
don't think range is the issue with us here.
Well, it will be if I can't sing it. If you hear me singing Summer of 69 like it was the summer of 60, it won't be fun for anybody, right?
But karaoke, and I'll find out. I can call the heights, but most karaoke places have the tracks are able to change keys.
If they can select the keys, if they can shift the keys and they can transpose them, then almost anything is an opportunity.
I'll find out. If we can change keys on songs.
Yeah, and all you got to do is watch the Overreaction Sports podcast, and you'll hear me sing. So, T-Dobbs.
Yeah. But you're going to hear him sing in Buffalo in September on the 16th.
Does this mean this is the only song that I can sing? Because what if I want to sing?
No, you can absolutely. I mean, if you want to have a concert, Joe, go for it. I'm not telling you don't want to. I'm not telling you not to. If you want to go ahead and have a concert.
I don't want to ruin the moment. I don't want everybody like there to be hyped for me to sing this one song. I guess I could we could hype up the one song and then I would sing. And then if I wanted to sing another song, I probably could, right?
No, I got you. And my homegirl B gonna be in town for it. Me and her gonna do like some Jay-Z, Beyonce stuff. I'm gonna get in on that. Nice. So I'm gonna be up there all day. So you can do a couple songs, but the one the one we raffling off, this is gonna be the one. We're gonna live stream it and everything. It's going down. It's going down.
This went from Joe, we're gonna cater to you to be really great to no any song they pick, you are singing it.
We can limit it to 5 songs. It's more fun if you don't know. That's what makes karaoke fun.
Yeah, no, I get it. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. It'll be a good time. It'll be for a good cause, and we'll rock this thing. Were you gonna say something?
So the raffle won't be tomorrow then. Joe and I have some stuff to figure out. The raffle will be coming soon. Look for it.
Just release it. Just do it. Just do it. I'm not wearing a Nike shirt, but just do it. You're
wearing a Market Dominator shirt.
I am wearing a which, by the way, this show needs a sponsor. So if there's anybody listening, watching live currently, or in podcast form that wants a very good way to sponsor and like get your name, advertising, get your name out there, this is a great place to do it. We had a sponsor last year. We don't have one this year at this point, but the season hasn't started yet. But would love to do some reads. Last topic for the show: what are you looking forward to in the second preseason game? And if you were in the comment section, tell us what you're looking forward to. What position group player that you're looking to watch? You want to see more to Bail Inspector, stuff like that. So yeah, what are you gonna have your eyes on?
To be honest, man, I just want to see more of the same from last week. I'm watching so one of the things that stood out to me about this past weekend was Ken Dorsey. I know it wasn't like a drawn out game plan. It wasn't nothing where it was like, oh, this is really what it's going to be. But the thing that I loved about it was the fact that we saw how he can adjust. Mm-hmm. We saw how, you're able to come back. If something's not right, he stuck with it. He was able to kind of put together some drives there that were sustainable. And then the ones that didn't work, obviously with the interceptions or whatever, when you look at those drives, if you put Josh Allen and then you throw Stephon Diggs in there and Isaiah McKenzie in the offense, I think you feel a whole lot better about those play calls. Yeah. So, I'm just looking forward to seeing that. And I'm looking forward to more consistency from defense. And then lastly, I'm still watching like a hawk. I'm watching that punt return kick return position.
I think that battle's over. I think the punt return battle. Oh, kick return. You said, sorry. I was reading the comments just as you said that. So I thought you were saying the same thing. The punter. Yeah, I think the punter battle's over. The returner position is absolutely something I'm going to be watching. I want to see James Cook. I want to see James Cook defeat the the line on him that he has bad contact balance, which effectively means that when he ends up in the pile, he goes down easy, which we kind of saw in the last preseason game. Like when he would kind of get through the tackles or when he was trying to run up the middle, it didn't take much for the pile to kind of consume him. I want to see him get through, squirt, bounce off the way that we see Terminator do, right? Darth Kosh says, what I'm most looking forward to is being 1 week closer to opening day. Yes, sir.
Heard you.
Hallelujah to that. The corners is a great group to watch. Clearly there's a huge significance on that. Just because we don't know where Trey is at this point, and with every day that passes, it looks less likely that he's going to play against the Rams. And where is the level of concern about Tre'Davious White? So right now it's like, I'm not super concerned. I promise you, Wednesday for the home opener, if Trey White's not playing, we're going to be concerned.
Well, I hope we're concerned then, because I don't want him playing week 1. Like, there's just nothing in my mind that makes me believe that you can come back from an ACL tear that quick. Like, I don't want him to be back the first game of September, because I just even like I think the only one that's ever come back from an ACL tear and it seemed like to not matter at all was Adrian Peterson.
That was incredible. And
incredible.
Did you play fantasy that year as well?
I did.
And it's like people were like staying away from him, and then the one guy that was like, "I'm going to take it," and it was like, "Oh," and then game didn't play a single preseason game, and then game 1 went nuts, lost his mind.
Nuts, man. So yeah, it's like you don't want to. But now, if Trey can somehow be that type of athlete, which I'm not leaving it, I'm not saying it's out to question.
Yeah.
I don't think it's likely.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Trey the first week of the season. I want Trey to be fully healed. I want Trey to fully do what he has to do. I think, look, you invest in Elam, you invest in whichever other cornerback, because now it looks like there's some competition for that other side. It doesn't look like it's just automatically going to be Dane Jackson.
Christian Benford, yeah.
So I want to see what we look like at the cornerback position.
So I guess the question is what does the record have to be for you to hit the panic button if so, not a situation of the Bills are 0-3, 1-2, 2-4, and they're not playing, they're not winning because the whole team is just kind of imploding. But hypothetically speaking, the record is 1-2. What does the record have to be for you to panic, knowing that the reason we're losing is because the corners can't hold their salt against top tier wide receivers? Like, holy crap, we got week 3.
By week 3, if we're 1-2, like if we have, because so this is my concern, and I know people haven't yelled at me this year about it, but one of the, for me, the cornerback position is the hole right now, and I know we drafted a guy that's awesome. We got Trey coming back, but to me, that's the only weakness that I look at on the field going into the season. So when I look at it like that, it's like, look, you're expecting a lot out of some young guys without Trey there. And it's not last season. Last season, the Buffalo Bills, I am on the record for saying, put some respect on the defense. They had the number 1 defense in the league. They gave up the least amount of yards through the air for the entire season. I think it was something incredible, like 186 or 185 yards per game, which is ridiculous. Like, it's an amazing. However, you throw games like Mac Jones only throwing 3 times for 18 yards in that. So you have a game coming out of it where you have 18 yards receiving.
Right.
That helps your stats. That's not because they really shut Mac down. It was because the win. And it's not saying that like the Bills aren't that good, but now going into the season, you're starting off against the Super Bowl winning quarterback that just has 2 great receivers and a good running game and then the following week you're going up against maybe not so much a better quarterback, but he played pretty decent against the Buffalo Bills. That every week this year is not going up against backup quarterbacks. It's not going up against the guy. It's not. Last year, didn't we get, what was it, Davis Mills' first game? We got him as his.
Yep.
We're not getting Davis Mills. We're not getting so we're not playing against now this year. We're playing
juggernaut.
It's the playoff juggernaut gauntlet that we're playing this year.
Yeah, even if you don't like Derek Carr, he now has Devontae Adams and Darren Waller. And Josh Jacobs
and Hunter
Renfro got 100 targets last year, right? I mean, it's just
disgusting.
It's going to be it's going to be disgusting. It's going to be interesting. And
then again, I know we don't like Tua, so we can say that Tua's not that dude. But I tell you what, you got Waddle and you got Kareem Hunt. Those 2 receivers, we saw Kareem Hunt turn a 15-yard reception into a touchdown in the playoffs against Buffalo. So just because it's not Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball, don't mean it has to be a bomb for Tyreek Hill to make something happen.
For sure.
The game that we just played against him last, he turned a 15-yard slant into a touchdown.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the clearly the Tyreek Hill. By the way, Kareem Hunt. You were saying Kareem Hunt. It's Tyreek Hill.
You know what I mean.
Totally knew what you meant. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Chiefs, because I'm not sold on Juju, right? I don't think that Juju necessarily is
really.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last week. I need to see it first. I think I said I feel like he's distracted, and we're gonna watch it live in person. You and I are, but it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what they become and how they morph. And at some point in time, Travis Kelce's got to hit the wall too. So we'll see.
I mean, maybe. Because, I mean, I feel like we, as Bills fans, we hope that for years about Gronk, and we hope that for years about Brady. Like, okay, at some point, Brady's shoulder has to fall off, man. Come on. And it never happened. At some point, Gronk can't be a beast, and he continued to run us over, even if he was injured.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Like, I'm hoping so. But, man, I tell you what, the way I see it, if you have the opportunity to draft Juju Smith-Schuster, I would draft him in fantasy. He's going to help you win.
You're probably, I mean, yes, if I had the opportunity, I wouldn't take him. Would you take him in the first 3 rounds?
It depends on how it falls. Probably not. Because I mean, I think there's a lot of talent this year. There's a ton of talent, but he's not somebody that I would just be like, oh, I'll pick him up on the waiver. He's not making it to the waiver.
Right.
That guy he's gonna eat with Mahomes. You got to remember, Juju was playing with Ben Roethlisberger, man. Like, he didn't have.
Yeah.
And before that, what was it, Duck Hodges or something? Or
and when Juju was good, Ben was good, right? Ben wasn't he didn't hit the wall the way that he had not hit the wall yet, the way that he did, like very much like Julio Jones hit the wall.
I think Juju gonna show us some things, man. I do.
We'll see. I mean, it's but so I'm gonna get us out of here. But before I do, I just want to say that we have gone. And I got scared at that last comment that jumped. We have gone 40 or 57 minutes, and the bot is gone. I think I got it. I think I got the bot. What was it? My show, or was it the Fina show? On one of the shows, I was like, "Let it go," and I blocked it. So the bot
probably was the Fina, because I Saturday. I don't remember seeing it on your show.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember getting the bot, and I blocked it officially. So I have a feeling that we're I don't know what John Herring's talking about, but ladies and gentlemen, you have been tuned into the Hump Day Hotline on the Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast Network, presented by Picasso's Pizza. It's so good to have you guys join us. We are here every Wednesday night throughout the season, and even throughout some of the off season, 8:00 on Wednesday evenings. If you are listening in podcast form, you ever get the opportunity to jump on YouTube, please do. We'd love to have you. You can jump in the comment section and hang out with everybody that's over there. So the comment section is a super good time. And do you have any final words?
Go Bills.
That's it.
Go Bills. I'm ready, man.
I'm ready for the season.
You don't understand. I can't wait for LA. The party that's about to happen in LA. If y'all going to LA, I need y'all to link up with the fans of Buffalo. I need y'all to come to the tailgate party that we're having out there. I need y'all, when y'all in Buffalo, I need y'all to link up with the Mafia House, the Bills Mafia House, because there's a tailgate happening game day. There's several tailgates happening. But me and Joe and the babes and who else will be there? Everybody's going to be there. It's going to be a party. And then the games, like, I'm just talking about the parties. I ain't even talking about the games, like the games. And then I'm ready, man. Like, I'm ready for September. Like, let's do this.
Awesome. Tomorrow, Thursday, live on the Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast Network is the Buffalo Nerd with our guy Colt Schroeder. Friday, Food for Thought, and then the Overreaction post-game show will once again this week be on Saturday night, more than likely 9 p.m. instead of 8. But for myself, for Jay Spence the King, for Buffalo Rumblings, and everybody else, love you guys. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.